WNBA coach responds to reporters' accusation following 2024 posts about Caitlin Clark. Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve found herself in hot water again after her previous behavior toward Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark resurfaced. Reeve's 2024 social media posts recently resurfaced after award-winning reporter Christine Brennan brought them up in a recent interview. Brennan accused Reeve of showing stunningly bad behavior for supposedly blaming Clark for not having Minnesota Lynx games on TV. Reeve caught wind of the allegations, and the veteran coach decided to fire back with her own tirade against Brennan. What she wrote is fiction, Reeve said in a recent appearance on FanDuel Sports Network. And if she were paying attention, one of the things that I have done for years is held the lead accountable for their missteps, mishaps, their lack of representation of all teams. And so that particular situation had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. It had everything to do with a WNBA social media post that promoted one preseason game and not all preseason games. And so I simply said that. And by the way, the Minnesota Lynx are playing the Chicago Sky, which also had some popular player in Angel Reese that people were interested in, and it simply wasn't posted on their account. Reeve was far from done. She then turned her attention to Brennan, whom she is now accusing of painting her as the villain in her story. If Christine Brennan were being thorough and a legitimate reporter in this situation, she would have gotten full context, but it didn't fit the narrative, Reeve said. Christine Brennan likes to have a villain in her storytelling. I am Christine Brennan's villain. That's what she's going to. That's the sword she's going to die on. And it's a fiction, the stuff that she has written about me and my interest in Caitlin Clark being on or off the national team. Reeve also touched on Brennan's accusation about the former's role in not including Clark in the national team for the Paris Olympics last year, which was a whole controversy on its own. Reeve is strongly denying that allegation as well, as she has now left no doubt about her opinion on this matter and on Brennan. In the fast-evolving world of women's basketball, the fusion of sport, social media, and public perception is more volatile than ever. The WNBA, once a league with a quieter cultural footprint, now sits squarely in the center of headlines, hashtags, and heated debates. And no name has sparked more conversation in recent months than Caitlin Clark, the electrifying rookie from Iowa whose arrival in the league has felt more like a cultural event than a basketball debut. But with great fame comes intense scrutiny, and not just for Clark. Coaches, teammates, opponents all find themselves pulled into the orbit of her influence, and not always willingly. So when Coach Tasha Reynolds of the New York Liberty found herself trending in May 2024 over a cryptic post many believed was a jab at Clark, the backlash was swift and merciless. The post in question? A now-deleted tweet that read simply, "Some players bring cameras, others bring wins." The internet erupted. The tweet coincided with a narrow Liberty victory over the Indiana Fever, Clark's team, in which Clark posted an impressive 28 points, but also had a late turnover that sealed the win for New York. The timing, tone, and context didn't sit well with fans. Within hours, sports media pundits framed it as a direct slight toward Clark's stardom, feeding into an already simmering narrative that the WNBA resents the attention Clark is bringing. A particular reporter from a prominent national outlet went further, accusing Reynolds of publicly undermining the league's most valuable asset and gatekeeping the culture of women's basketball. Reynolds didn't respond immediately. She didn't clap back, didn't defend or deflect, not at first. Instead, she coached 2 more games, business as usual, stone-faced on the sidelines as chants of jealousy echoed from opposing fans in Indiana. But then came the post-game press conference on June 2nd. A reporter raised the question directly. "Coach Reynolds, there's been significant discussion about your tweet from last month, with some accusing you of targeting Caitlin Clark. Do you want to address that now?" Tasha Reynolds leaned forward in her chair, elbows on the table, the fluorescent lights above turning the beads of sweat on her brow into glints of steel. She didn't smile. She didn't blink. "What I said," she began, "was about a mentality, about the difference between spotlight and grit. That tweet wasn't about any one player, but if people saw a mirror in it, maybe they were supposed to. A murmur rustled through the room. "I've been in this league for 15 years," Reynolds continued. "I've coached players who built dynasties without trending once on Twitter.